Don't Look Now has been reissued.
Don't Look Now.
Which is the Nick Rogue film from the early 1970s. Weirdly enough, we've been talking about The Wicker Man, right? When The Wicker Man first came out, it was cut down to a B feature length and was released as the supporting feature to Don't Look Now. Don't Look Now is Nick Rogue's, I think, one of Nick Rogue's best films. I was honoured recently to be hosting the Nick Rogue Memorial because Nick Rogue was just a master of British cinema. In that tradition of, Powell and Pressburger and Ken Russell, we have Nick Rogue. This is a story about loss and grief that is adapted from a short story by Daphne du Maurier. And the most extraordinary thing about it is that in the film version, one of the main themes of the film, which is about a child who has drowned and the parents then going to Venice and being haunted by visions of the child coming back out of the water, that which you imagine has to be in the DNA of the original short story, because Daphne du Maurier, the novella, it isn't. That is an addition of the script. It is a absolutely brilliantly written film, and it's one of those things in which you think that what's happened is Alan Scott and Chris Bryant are the screenwriters, and they have done such a fantastic job of adapting that already brilliant Daphne du Maurier story. Also worth saying, the du Maurier story, as I was saying before about Midsommar, is actually written very much like a Shaggy Dog story. It begins with the wife, the bereaved mother, saying, "Don't look now, but I think someone's trying to hypnotize us." And it then becomes a story about she believes in second sight, the husband doesn't believe in second sight, and this then sets in a series of terrible incidents that literally ends up with a punchline, and this isn't a plot spoiler, with a punchline, "What a bloody silly way to die." And the film takes that sort of sleek, blackly comedic story and turns it into one of the most harrowing explorations of grief and loss and denial and love and passion and life and death that has ever been put on the screen. And it's just being reissued briefly before it comes out, I think, in a new Blu-ray.